What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey guys, hope you're going well. Now the Oscar season is finally over. Thank you to everyone who has been following along with all my Oscar themed videos. It's such a fun movie time of year for me, but it's all done now and I wanted to come back to the world of Netflix and see what's been going on in the land of Netflix original movie content. So today we are going to be talking about Duncan Jones' cyberpunk sci-fi Mute. Starring Alexander Skarsgård, Paul Rudd, and Justin Theroux, Mute is the story of a simple Amish man named Leo, played by Skarsgård, who had a voice box accident as a child, so he can no longer talk, i.e. so he is mute. That was a really roundabout way of saying that. Anyway, when his manic pixie daydream girlfriend goes missing, he follows the clues of her somewhat shady past to try and track her down. First, I have to start with my thoughts on Duncan Jones, who is, we all know him as, the masterful writer-director behind the indie darling film Moon of 2009, starring Sam Rockwell. Everyone, moviegoers and critics alike, all loved Moon. Duncan Jones, as his directorial debut, he was the man to watch. Everyone was so excited to see what he was going to do next. Then he did Source Code, which was all right. Everyone thought, look, it's not a bad follow-up film. Maybe some executive producers got in there and stole the final edit. So, it's okay, but we're still excited to see what he's going to do next. And then he did World of Warcraft. And still everyone believed in Duncan Jones, despite the movie being shit house. Everyone thought at least this big studio is giving him and entrusting him in a big blockbuster action sci-fi movie. Let's give him the credit for the studio's taking a chance on him. Forget how the movie turned out. Straight up, here watching Mute, I'm thinking to myself, maybe Duncan Jones hasn't got the Midas movie touch that we all thought that he had. Mute is a crazy mess, and if you like this film, that is totally fine, but you better look away because I am about to tear it limb from limb. The hero is just straight up boring. Leo, the Amish bartender, is like this lost puppy dog. He is this hulking brood with big blue puppy dog eyes. The poor fella hasn't got a clue what is going on in the world around him, and the only way that he is able to sort of follow the breadcrumbs to tracking down his girlfriend is that he catches lucky break after lucky break, and it's just plot convenience that he happens to find things. It was so frustrating and just downright illogical. I liked the idea that he is an Amish guy. He rejects technology so that he's very much a fish out of water in the world around him. I get that that's a way to set up your hero, but it was just so frustrating. He has grown up in this world. He works a functioning job as a bartender. He can't not know how to operate a takeaway machine or a cell phone. As for Alexander Skarsgård in the role, I just don't think he could hold down the gravitas of this silent character. He felt like a poor man's Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner 2049. Too harsh? Yes, it's partly his character, but I also felt like it was Skarsgård's acting approach. He never held anything back from the audience. He was a complete open book, walking around with these big blue confused eyes, and there were only two notes that I ever read that he was thinking. The first one being, where's my girlfriend? I think I lost her. The second one being, I'm confused. Can someone please get me a snack? I felt constantly sorry for this guy, and I just wanted to give him a hug and read him a bedtime story. As for the visual effects and world building, director Duncan Jones has talked a lot about being inspired by the original Blade Runner, and the original Blade Runner tropes and style is just plastered like a veneer over this film. It's an old school crime noir thriller that they've picked up and transplanted in a futuristic setting for the sake of it being a Blade Runner homage, or for the sake of it being Blade Runner cool. I don't know why. But let's come away from that negativity for a second and talk about a positive. Let's talk about the biggest pro of the film for me, and that was definitely the performance of Paul Rudd's mustache, aka Cactus Bill, aka the most interesting thing about this film. He is this quick to temper ex-vet of a surgeon, yet he's so devastatingly charismatic. He's this walking contradiction of values. It's very, very interesting. Like, on the one hand, he loves his daughter very much and wants to take care of her. But at the other hand, he will leave her with a bunch of basically strangers and strippers because he has to go beat up some people. It was fun to see Paul Rudd in a role like this, a role that's kind of gritty and underhanded and not the good guy, like an anti-hero, but the movie didn't quite go in that direction. His storyline and his character, especially his relationship with his best friend Duck, played by Justin Theroux, which is very like an abusive kind of friendship. Super interesting. Like, that would have been probably the more interesting story. The movie is an absolute mess, and not just because of one thing, but because of many things. The story is too choppy and convoluted. There are characters that come in that don't add any value and then leave and are never heard from again. There's a third act payoff that doesn't pay off and doesn't seem to belong. The bromance between mustached Paul Rudd and creepy Justin Theroux tonally belonged in a whole separate movie. Like, it was my favorite part of this movie, but it felt like a different movie. Couple all of that with uninteresting world building and a passive one-note hero. I am sorry, Mute, but you have just landed one of my worst movies of the year so far. Oof, I have not had a bad movie rant in ages. That was like better than a therapy session. Okay guys, they have been my thoughts on Mute. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Make sure you leave me comments in the comments section down below. Let me know what you thought of this one. I'd be very, very interested to know. Don't worry, we can fight about it some more in the comments. That's fine too. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and keep up to date with all things movies and TV, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.